This week, the NASCAR Cup Series is headed to Iowa for the first time in 71 years. In today's video, I'm going to catch you up on everything you need to know for this weekend's race and give you my drivers to watch.
Everybody likes a winner, right?
A three-wide finish.
That was old school ass whipping.
Boogity, boogity, boogity. Ooh, let's go racing today, boys.
As I mentioned, this is the Cup Series' first time coming back to Iowa in 71 years, with the last race being here in 1953. This is also the first time that the Cup Series has been to Iowa Speedway, although Xfinity and the Truck Series have been here in the past. As I mentioned, the last time the Cup Series raced in Iowa was in 1953. That race was held at a dirt track in Davenport and was won by the fabulous Hudson Hornet. No, not Doc Hudson, but ironically the less famous Herb Thomas, who the character was based off of. Iowa Speedway is a 0.88-mile asphalt short track. It's modeled after and most similar to Richmond Raceway, which saying that may scare a number of fans, and honestly, it scares myself. Recently, Richmond has not been putting up a great on-track product, and because of that, NASCAR fans have really soured towards the track. That being said, this track having the same configuration is not going to be encouraging for most fans. On top of that, Iowa was recently repaved, and many of the drivers have not been impressed with the results. Some drivers have even gone as far as saying the track is completely unusable. The main reason for this seems to be the fact that the track, instead of paving the entire track, opted to only repave the bottom two racing lines. A couple of the drivers who have been vocal about this are Christopher Bell and Ryan Blaney. When asked about his thoughts on the repave, Christopher Bell said, it completely ruined the corners, and it's going to make it a one-groove racetrack. The top half is completely unusable. Even in the second groove, you move to try to get grip, and with the new asphalt, no one needs to move up, so it's definitely going to be a difficult race. When asked about the track's decision to only repave the bottom racing lines, Ryan Blaney said the following, "I don't know why you do that. In my mind, you either leave it or pave the whole thing. You can't pave two lanes on the bottom because now it's a two-lane racetrack. If you're lucky, it might not get to the second lane. Forget about the third and fourth lane. It's never going to get there." Despite what seems like the majority of drivers being unimpressed with the repave, there have been a few drivers who have been complimentary. One of those was Kyle Larson, who said the following, "The test was difficult with just 3 cars. Really a brand new surface. So gosh, it took probably 4 hours or so until we could actually get some grip and make some decent laps. But yeah, I think with 30 or whatever cars, the groove should widen out from what it was. It does have some progressive banking, so it should hopefully be a little bit better." Getting back to my own thoughts, it's really hard to know which way this race is going to go. We could see a train on the bottom with no one able to pass, or we could see close quarters racing with drivers beating and banging to push themselves into the right position. However, if other short tracks are any indication, we have every reason to be concerned about this weekend's race. Short track racing for the most part this year has been anything but exciting. That being said, I'll be curious to see how this race plays out. The race will be 350 laps, with Stage 1 ending on lap 70, Stage 2 ending on lap 210, and the race ending on lap 350. I think it's interesting to see how far apart Stage 1 and Stage 2 are. I think they made Stage 1 short on purpose because of the team's inexperience with this track. This will give them the ability to be able to adjust early in the race. The schedule for this week's race started today on Friday, June 14th, with practice being at 5:35 p.m. Tomorrow, Saturday the 15th, we'll have qualifying at 1:05 p.m. Eastern Time, and on Sunday, June 16th, we'll have the race at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Last week's race at Sonoma marked the end of Fox's broadcast schedule, with NBC now picking up their start of the schedule. This race in particular will be broadcast on USA, the NBC Sports app, as well as MRN for radio listeners. This will be the first year since 2018 that fan favorite Dale Earnhardt Jr. will not be on the NBC broadcast team. To start their broadcast schedule this year, the booth will consist of Rick Allen, Jeff Burton, and Steve Letarte, with some new additions coming later in the year and for select races. One of the exciting additions will be Lee Diffie, who is best known for his work with F1 and IndyCar. Diffie is known for his energy and should bring an exciting element to the broadcast booth. One thing that'll be interesting for fans to get used to will be his Australian accent. NASCAR fans are accustomed to hearing a mostly southern accent on the NASCAR broadcast, so this will be an interesting change. Obviously, this will not be any kind of real distraction, and I expect fans will appreciate the energy he will bring to the broadcast. Diffie will replace Rick Allen as the lead broadcaster after the Summer Olympic break. On top of that, 7-time champion Jimmy Johnson is set to join the booth for select races throughout the schedule. Now that we're caught up on the race, let me give you my drivers to watch for this week's Iowa Corn 350. My first driver to watch is Christopher Bell. Although Christopher Bell did wreck in practice today, I still think he's going to be a driver to watch. He participated in the Iowa test, which will already give him an advantage, and he tends to excel at short tracks. For those reasons, he's going to be someone you want to keep an eye on. My next driver is Denny Hamlin. All 3 of Denny's wins this year have come at short tracks, and 4 if you count the Clash. One of those wins was Richmond, which this track is based off of. Because of that, I would expect him to have a good race this weekend as well. My last driver to watch is going to be Kyle Larson. Kyle Larson is going to be a driver to watch until he isn't. He's on a serious hot streak right now and doesn't look like he's planning on cooling off anytime soon. Larson also participated in the Iowa test as if he needed any added advantage. For those reasons, I think this week, like most weeks, he's going to be in contention at the end. With all that being said, I'm cautiously optimistic about this weekend's race, but I want to hear what you're expecting. Let me know down in the comments. Do you think this is going to be an exciting race, or do you expect it to be another bummer of a short track race? Also, be sure to let me know which drivers you're going to be watching this week. While you're in the comments, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Make like Christopher and hit that bell so you can get notified on all of our latest NASCAR content. I appreciate you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you next time.